Hey, how you going? So we got the latest block shoots bulletin. So it's a pretty small block shoots bulletin, and even they said that it's a dry bulletin, but we still got some bunch of really new stuff and information about the new update, which is really exciting because it looks like a really interesting and pretty unique update. So in this picture, we've got Ripindra, and he's standing in front of some ice. So that might be a reference to like ice rework or something like that. We don't really know because we know that we're going to get a couple of fruit reworks this update. We have no idea which fruits are going to get reworked and stuff like that, which is interesting. So a nice rework would be really cool. It does have an awakening version. Haven't gotten a rework of an awakening version in quite a while, so that'd be interesting to see how they're going to do that. And it does also look pretty modern, but a nice rework would be really cool, and that'd be interesting to see. It wouldn't really fit in with the other sneaks we've got of the fruit reworks, but maybe it's a reference to that. We also got this lore deep dive in the Tiki outpost, which was really interesting. So basically, it was this a lot of people used to be on Tiki Island, but then the Leviathan came and stuff happened. But now there's a bunch of like islands underneath, which is clear reference to the submarine that came on Tiki. So a while ago, we got the new submarine, which has appeared. A lot of people thought it was speculation to go to 4C or something like that, but it's probably now a way to go down. Maybe it's a new island. Maybe it's the 4C. That's like this huge map underneath the water. We have no idea, but there's going to be some sort of island, maybe a boss fight, something like that, which is really exciting because. But you're only going to be able to get there once you beat the new boss. So you have to beat the Eagle Triad. We don't know if it's one times, maybe a couple. Just beat him a couple of times just in case, just so you can play the new map or whatever it is when the update comes out, which is really exciting. To get a new island, we haven't got a new island in ages. We've just been getting reworked in Tiki. I feel like Tiki is going to be the last island, or whatever this new island is going to be the last island in the third sea, and then they're going to add fourth sea. But probably going to have to wait for ages for fourth sea. We also got some new stuff about the potions. So they're really hammering home about like potions or fruit or like food that like increases health or something like that. So this is talking about this guy who made this like food and how people wondering if it's not just about like taste stuff, but there's other stuff that could happen from it, which is pretty clear reference to like potions and stuff like that because they had an image of Ripinja holding potions, and a lot of people have been thinking that it could like increase health or increase damage and stuff like that, which I think is a really good idea. I really hope they don't make it a boring way of collecting like ingredients to make these potions or food or whatever it is. But it'll be cool now than because we don't have anything like this in block shoots, and it's going to be pretty cool and unique. Potions have also pretty much been confirmed because in the next sneak you have like this thing where it's talking about the community poll, and if you zoom in, you can see this thing where it's talking about like potions with a question mark. So they clearly know a lot of people have been talking about potions. There's also submarine with a question mark linking to what I said earlier about the Tiki Island. So we got this thing about the community poll, which I think is a really good idea. Doing a community poll, and it's the first one, which means they're gonna do a lot more, which is really exciting. Because I think adding stuff that like the fan base wants. Hopefully, when because you just like pick like fruit reworks. Hopefully, you could do specific ones like Gifith, like Gifith would be really popular and most people would want that, especially creation rework. We've been waiting for that for years. So hopefully there's a way to put that down because I think a lot of people are gonna want that. But I voted for fruit reworks because I do hope we get more fruit reworks and especially creation. I think that'd be really cool. But it's going to be a really exciting update, and I'm really glad they're doing the polls. I think the devs have changed a lot. Like they're doing this block truth bulletin with like weekly news, and now they're directly asking people for information about future updates. And I think Block Shoots is moving on to a much better spot. And hopefully, we don't go back to where we have to wait 2 years for a really, really small update like we used to. We also have this really cool thing, which I think is going to be the coolest part of the new update, is bosses overhaul. So if you didn't notice that previously they changed the names of a couple of bosses, a lot of people thought that might be due to copyright because they changed like Buggy and the like Gravity Guy boss, maybe because of copyright to move away from One Piece, directly from the anime because that might be a copyright issue. But I think they're overhauling all of the bosses in general, So they're saying how they're gonna make like new move sets, new fighting styles, but they're not gonna do that for everything. They just want to make stuff unique and stuff, which I think is really cool because Blox's bosses are pretty boring, and most of them do have the old, outdated fruit. Like imagine finding a big mom boss with like the new spirit. I think that'd be really cool. And making like boss fights actual boss fights, like in other games. They're not saying it's going to be harder, which I do think is good because I think Blox's current boss level difficulty is good, like making it too hard because you can solo most bosses, but it's a bit hard. But doing it with a bunch of people is quite easy. So I think that's a good idea. Yeah, they're doing making stuff character, theme, experience, making them memorable. I really think that's a good idea, and I think it's going to add a lot to block shooters, making these really cool bosses. Hopefully, they because the new like Eagle boss in Tiki, he's really cool and it looks really nice. And hopefully they do that with other block shoots bosses as well. So I don't think that we're going to be getting this update in the new this month, which is pretty disappointing because I was really hoping that we were going to get it this month. So there's going to be at least one more block shoots bulletin because I was saying how we need to wait for next week because they're doing another block shoots bulletin. Then that like pretty much near the end of the month. And because last time they did full block shoots bulletins, and we had to wait a couple of weeks after that until we got the trailer and then the update. So we're probably gonna have to do the same. But hopefully it's early next month, and we're not having to wait that long since new like the gravity update and this. Even though they're small updates, they're really cool updates, and especially adding like potions and boss reworks to like complete game changing stuff, which I think will add a lot to block shoots. I think Blox's biggest problem is replayability. Like when Blox's updates, it goes up a lot and then goes down. Because like especially just new gravity update, there wasn't much to do. And adding all of these new features and stuff like that, making the game more replayable, I think that would add a lot to Blox's and continue to keep Blox's really popular. Because it goes down quite a bit when we have like a big break, especially now because we haven't had an update in a little bit. But hopefully we do get the update soon. It's going to be a really exciting update. I really hope we get creation. I really hope they actually listen to like what the fan base and don't just like ignore it kind of thing, and take that like advice and stuff like that and add that in the game. And yeah, hopefully that next Blockstreet Bulletin's the last one, and then we get the trailer after that. I also do hope we get an ice rework. I think ice rework would be cool because we know from this update we're probably going to be getting like a mythical fruit and two like common or not very good fruits. Like this update, we got gravity and creation and eagle, so we're probably going to get the same. So we're probably going to get two mid fruits and make them really good. There's a couple of stuff like that, like spring and for ice, especially. I think those could do with a rework, which I think would be nice and making them better as well as like the big fruit. We don't know what that is yet. Maybe creation, maybe pour, maybe venom, stuff like that. Whatever one of those, I think it'll be really cool. Hopefully, we get one of those. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.